Hey, what's up, YouTube? DJ here from It Has Not Effect once again with another mindless story. But I'm planning to make this kind of like a series. So this is basically what it's about. I'm going to go and start it off. We've all had roommates in the past, and it's just something that happens, by the time you're 20 or you're going to college or something like that. Having a roommate is just a part of life, pretty much, for most of us. And when we get a roommate, we all complain about one thing or another. It's very rare that you get the perfect roommate. Most people complain like, oh, they didn't wash the dishes, or they left their clothes around, or they didn't pay this bill for the month, or something like that. As for me, I was actually worried for my life, actually. I lived with a complete psychopath. And this is part one of the story. So I told these stories to my friends, and they find them quite humorous. So I'm here to share them with you, and hopefully, you get some enjoyment out of my pain. I try to repress that, but yeah. Anyways, so for the sake of this person's identity, I'm only going to be using his first name, which is Adam. I'm not going to be using his last name. If he is watching this, yes, you're still a scumbag, and you're a horrible person, and I only feel a little bit sorry for you. But yeah, so let's start from the beginning. How did I end up in a situation with living with a complete nutbag? Well, the person in question, Adam, at the time, we were co-workers, and unfortunately his mother did die of a heart condition, which is, that's horrible. That's never a good thing for someone at that age to go through. I definitely understand how hard that must have been. So he had to move out of the house, he got quite a bit of insurance money from his mother's death, and so he figured, we'd rent an apartment. It was pretty close to where I live, and so I wanted to join him. At the time, I figured he was normal because I didn't really spend much time with him. At work he seemed pretty normal, he seemed pretty nice, typical movie fashion, and so we got it all done, and we moved in, and at first it was fine. Didn't really do much. I just kind of noticed that he was kind of messy, or he liked to stay in his room a lot. And I also noticed that he had a really weird addiction to the show Home Improvement. Like, he had that running on his PS3 on a loop consistently, like constantly, all the time. That was kind of weird. But but here's the first story, I guess, that I'll dive into. That kind of showed me who he really was. So the gentleman in question, he was not very attractive. He was kind of fat, and everything like that. Typical fat white nerd dude. And so you can imagine he felt lonely. He didn't really have a girl companion with him. So I encouraged him, now that he was completely on his own, he needed to find somebody. And so he tried online dating. And basically, I would check in with him every once in a while, see, did you make a profile, stuff like that. And I knew, I should have known that something was up when he went to eHarmony, because that's, the most well-known place to find someone. So he went there, and when he reported back to me about his experience with it, I didn't even know what to say. He went there, and then he told me, he claimed that when he filled out the forms or whatever, that he was not even compatible with whatever requirements they had. I didn't even know they had requirements. Apparently, he was so fucked up, he couldn't even get into their system. Like, he was not compatible to even be a part of the eHarmony family, which is really bizarre. I don't know what forms you have to fill out or anything like that, but I'm just thinking, like, how does it even happen? Like, how do you not even be compatible with any of that? Like, I didn't even understand. I didn't even get it. And he wouldn't go into details, so that should have been a warning sign, but I was like, okay, whatever. And then a little later on, he told me that he found a new website that fit his needs. That he didn't really need much, didn't need meet much criteria. This little dating site was called Fling.com. Some of you out there probably have heard of this. At the time, I really didn't know what it was, but just from the name, it did sound a little bit suspicious. But he told me, like, yeah, I know, he told me he had to be on a profile on there, and everything like that. So I was like, oh, okay. So I was gonna go check it out, just to make sure, you know, I knew it was kind of weird, so I just wanted to see what he put on there, you know, to present himself. And so I'm on the computer, I'm like, okay, let's check it out, you know. Then he, like, quickly rushes, like, no, don't do that. And I was like, why not? I just want to see what you put on there, you know, to present yourself, you know, to women who are potentially going to be looking at it. And he was just like, no, you just don't want to go on there. And, you know, I was just joking around. I was just like thinking, like, I just said out loud, it's like, what, you don't want to go on there? Was your wiener on there or something like that? And then just dead silence from him. It was just didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. And then it was clear that this motherfucker has put his wiener online. It's junk. It's just online for anybody to see. And I was just like, what the fuck, man? Like, what are you doing? And then he claimed this is why he did it. So apparently when you sign up for Fling.com, I guess they send you an email that says, like, in order to get more hits or something like that, like, try to make your pictures risque and, like, scandalous or something like that. So he took that advice that was from an automated email and just flashed his dong on there. You know, his dong was on there all day long. You know, I never saw the alleged wiener. The fact that it was even on there just disgusts me beyond reason. And then yeah, that's the end of this first part of the story. So, you know, the next part, to give you a little bit of a preview, is going to be about the girl that he met on this high-class website, and basically, you know, how it all went to hell from there. So, hope you enjoyed that story. Remember, don't post your wiener online, you know, or else I'm going to be calling you a real motherfucker for doing that. And yeah, that's it.
OMG, it has not a fact.